a very, very powerful thing that the people usually are not aware of is the frozen hand gesture. The frozen hand gesture means that when you are talking, you are behaving normally as you always do. But if you are stop moving and you're not saying anything anymore, then you're freezing your gesture. As I basically did the whole morning already. So when I talk, I move. When I don't talk, I don't move. Simple idea. And what is happening with this idea? You can subtitle your communication extremely with this idea. So when you say something, you want to make a clear point, and you're using a frozen hand gesture when you make a break, a pause, the people in the audience can think what you just said. Then it heightens also the attention through that. And it creates a certain charisma. So all the cats in the room, they like it. If a cat behavioral person doesn't know, why is it interesting? It's some kind of interesting behavior. I don't know why, but it's interesting. They always like that. It's like catnip. Do you know catnip? That's the grass you give a cat and they really like to chew on it. So you can do things with cats that are big cats, and if you do something interesting with them that creates interest in them, then they get attached to you. That's where charisma is created. So the frozen hand gesture, I did the whole morning, and maybe you were thinking, oh, he can present pretty well. But it's just a technique that I'm using. So I'm talking while and moving at the same time, and when I don't talk, or when someone of you talks, I freeze my gesture. Like this, you can create a very intensive presentation mode, or you can present an offer in a very intensive way. And now I think focusing on how I behave and how I gesture, which you didn't do before. Everyone is quiet right now and is looking, is it true? And he's talking, he's moving, and if he's not talking, he's not moving. I did that the whole morning. And it creates a certain proficiency. And people understand, even if they're from different cultures, that's something the whole world understands. It doesn't matter from which culture you come. If you watch any movie, you will see the good presenters, they do not let their hands drop. Let's say I would present like this. I do the same content like body language, and I would just talk, and I will move. And when I stop talking, I just let my gesture drop. This has a very different way of, for you probably a very different way of perception. So when I stop talking, I let my hand drop. I do gesture, that's fine. Whatever gesture you do, it doesn't matter. Every time I stop talking, I let my hand drop. In that moment, you think he's finished. He doesn't want to continue talking. So right now I do the least recommended way. I could also do a gesture like this. And then I come with my hands back to my belly button. Same thing, I talk to you in a very good topic. And every time I have a break, so what you can think a little bit what I said, I go back to my belly button. Same effect. What happens is people interrupt me more. If you want not to be interrupted, you create a pause and you freeze your hand. So while you freeze your hand, you guys know I'm not finished yet. If I drop my hand, then you know I'm finished. So as long as I always keep my frozen hand gesture and I do not go back to my normal standing position and I start to communicate with the hands and I freeze, people know I'm not finished yet. And sometimes I get interrupted. But I still keep my position where it was because I am not finished yet. So I let the person say what he wants to say and then I go back to my position and continue talking.